once reckoned drug laws being the worst censorship of research since the ban on the telescope. And a lot of times you make that analogy.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that.
Yes, I'd be delighted to. So, in 1616, the Catholic Church decided to ban the scientific study of the planets because they discovered a few years before a guy called Copernicus, who was a Czech, he was almost Polish or Czech astronomer, and he discovered this amazing phenomenon that the Earth went around the sun, not the other way around. Because you sit here and you see the sun goes, but he worked it out, and I can't remember exactly how he worked it out, but he did. He worked out with one way around. The sun was the center of the universe, we went around it. And that really conflicted with biblical teaching. And the Catholic Church did not like that. And in fact, there was a priest astronomer called Carlo Bruni who they actually burnt at the stake to punish him for basically agreeing with Copernicus. And then this guy called Galileo, who's famous, of course, came along, and Galileo was looking at how the moons of Jupiter went around Jupiter, and he obviously knew that, the Earth went around the sun, and they didn't like that, and so they said, up to you, Galileo, fancy. Do you want to be burnt at the stake, or are you going to tell us you were wrong? And he said, well, all right, I'm recanting. I was wrong. And then they banned the writings of Copernicus from 1616 to about 1750. So that's 150 years when you couldn't read the scientific literature about the orbits of the planets. And it's very interesting, just as an aside, the term revolutionary comes from those people. The first revolutionaries were not the people marching to liberate France from the rule of the Bourbons. The first revolutionaries were the astronomers who discovered that the Earth revolved around the sun.
That's nice.
So they were banned. Now, that ban lasted 150 years, and it only really worked in the Catholic countries. So in Northern Europe, particularly in Denmark, Carlo Brahe, they were able, because they were Protestant by that point, they were able to carry on doing.
Yeah.
Now the drug laws, UN conventions on banning pretty much everything. There were two big ones, 61 and the 71 Acts. And they exist in 197 countries. And so that's everywhere in the world. And they have been now effectively banning research for, 50 to 60 years.